Every day in the UK, 10 people die as a result of a road accident, and 1 in 3 road accidents involve young men under the age of 20. Now, driving too fast is cited as the main cause of accidents, but we believe it's got more to do with young men overestimating their ability and driving way beyond their skills. In other words, driving like a total knob. To learn to drive on the limit, you need 2 things: extreme conditions and a speed guru. We're in Norway, close to the Arctic Circle, and we're going to drive on this. We're on a frozen lake, not to teach you how to drive in winter. The techniques apply to driving on all surfaces. We're driving on ice because the limit of grip is reached at a much lower speed, which means it's safer. And there's loads of space to make mistakes, and if you really cock it up, there are soft snowbanks that act as safety barriers. For you, not the car. Our Scandinavian speed guru is John Haughland, and this is his rally school. John has taught world champion Richard Burns, rally ace Rowan Pera and McRae. He's arguably the best extreme driving instructor in the world. We've got 2 guys who love driving, Celine and Will. Let's see how they're getting on. Will Lawrence is 29. He's an editor at Max Power magazine, he loves cars, and he's a drummer in a band. Celine Amswan is 21. She won a Silverstone rally competition in 2002 and loves to drive very fast. Will is in a front-wheel drive Fiesta and Celine a rear-wheel drive BMW. They're practicing on the icy roundabout from hell and a very slippery slalom on ordinary tyres with no instruction whatsoever. They thought it was going to be a double, but as they found out, it wasn't as easy as it looked.
Right, here we go, this is it. Let's see what I can do.
Here we go, boys, I'm my pants.
Oh,
Oh, it goes wide, mate, I can tell you.
oh, a lot of hard work in this.
I've trashed the cone. The dead now, I can tell you.
Oh, that was terrible.
Right, I fucked that up a bit, but I'm off again.
Oh, losing the back end.
It's hard work, this is.
Really hard.
It's so hard to keep your foot on the power when you're losing control like that.
Right guys, that's the end of day 1. What do you reckon?
Mate, it was well hard, much harder than I thought. I was just doing the slalom, right, in a Fiesta, not a very big powerful car, small little nimble car. Didn't want to know, trying to turn it through those corners. It's watching power straight up.
Celine?
For me, the difficulty was going through the corners, and every time I was turning in, the back end was just coming loose. It's very difficult to control.
Right. Will, the problem you were having was understeer in a front-wheel drive car. Celine, the problem you were having was oversteer in a rear-wheel drive car. John Haughland knows exactly what you're doing wrong, and he knows exactly how to put it right. But that's for tomorrow. Let's go and have a beer.
I'm absolutely knackered. I feel like someone's stuck a syringe in my head and sucked all my life force out. But what have I done to get this tired? Have I driven a Skyline tuned to 450 brake around the Nürburgring? No, I've driven a Ford Fiesta. A tiddly one. I've driven it through a really small slalom of 5 cones, and I've driven it round in a circle. That's what I've done today. Sad thing is, I obviously know a bit less about driving than I thought I did. But that will change. We've got John Haughland, who'll make me a better driver.
Okay, so I've just got back from having a nice cold beer, extremely shattered, looking forward to going to bed. It's been an extremely hard day today. Looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully we'll improve on the speed and on the handling of the car, because I didn't have any control of it at all. Apart from that, it's been a great day, and I look forward to the next couple of days doing this.
Okay, John, you've seen the footage. What do you think of our drivers?
Well, what we see here now is the classical example of people going too fast into corners with too little braking. They go into the corners with the front wheel drive car without or with reducing the speed, and then they are losing the momentum into the corner.
Right.
We see it here now. They need, there we see it again, they are pushing in too hard on the exit of the corner into the snowbank a bit, destroying the exit speed of the corner. They need to brake better, coordinate better before the corners, and as they turn in, move the steering wheel into the corner, they need to have some sort of power and some sort of left braking. What is easy to understand is that you have to be quick, you have to be early on the power. But to be early on the power, you must also be early on the brakes. The earlier you on the brakes, the earlier you can be on the power, the more speed you will have out of the corner. That is basically the whole clue.
You mentioned understeer, John.
Yes, understeer, that's the limit of speeder on corners with front wheel drive and 4-wheel drive cars. And we can overcome that with the help of left braking. That's the normal typical way of getting a little bit more grip on the front as we go around the corner. Because what we always want is the highest possible exit speed.
Right.
And to make the highest possible exit speed, the entry of the corner, that's the key.
Right. And also, Celine there, she's going really wide. That
Oh,
car's all over the road.
See, she's all over here. Snow is spraying everywhere, but she is tough. She's on the power and sorting out the situation. She is handling the car. It's working okay, but she's losing time because you see car is everywhere sliding up and down. But I can say Celine here, she is flooring it, and no problem at all. She's losing time, but she's driving herself out of the situation. That's a very good sign.
John, what are these guys going to learn this week?
They're going to learn to control front wheel drive car with understeer, left braking, right lines, controlling traction, and they were going to also learn to drive oversteering car with opposite lock and pitch lights.
John Haughland is going to teach us how to power slide. We'll discover the secrets of left foot braking, how to do a Scandinavian flick, and as a bonus, how to handbrake turn like a professional.
These techniques, John, do they make you a safer driver?
Yeah, we do, very much so. They are doing everybody a big favor, not at least the other people on the road. Because when these people, after such a course, is coming on the road and coming up in a difficult or dangerous situation, they can handle it. They can handle it much better. Because then they can try to drive the car out of a dangerous situation. Instead of, if they have no real good car control, they are just a passenger in the car and going crashing into an accident.
John, understeer and oversteer, watching it on TV is one thing, but I'm not sure I've got it. Can you demonstrate that for us?
Well, understeer, that's when we have a lack of grip in the front, the car is pushing with the front. Oversteer is when we have a lack of grip in the rear, the car is sliding with the rear. But I can demonstrate it for you.
Okay, understeer is when the car goes straight on in the corner, going too fast. The front wheels are trying to get grip. We're turning the steering wheel into the corner.
Okay, so understeer is you're going into a bend, you're turning the steering wheel, and effectively nothing's happening.
Exactly.
Right.
Go into the corner now, turn the wheel, nothing is happening, and the wheels is pointing that way, and it doesn't grip. That's understeer.
So understeer is you're turning the steering wheel and nothing's happening.
Yeah. Well, you will always have understeer if you go into the corners too fast.
Now, how do you control that?
You can control it by reducing speed. Then you get the weight transfer to the front, more weight on the front wheels, and also the speed is going down at the same time. But the best way to do it is to do it with the help of left braking.
You're punching the brake, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, that's left braking. The lifting off is the slow way of doing it. Grandmother do that. It's a slow way. You're saving the situation. It's going okay, but there's a reaction into the car is very slow.
We were going around a left-hand bend, and you were pointing the car right.
Yes, just before it. Because I knew this tight corner here, the car will understeer.
That's a Scandinavian flick.
Yeah.
You're making it oversteer.
Or making it have less understeer.
So you're teaching me about understeer here, and we're oversteering.
Yeah. You have to take away understeer, make some oversteer to make the car not understeer. Because the understeer, that's the limitation of the speed around the corner.
It sounds to me like you don't ever want understeer.
Exactly.
Now you've mentioned two things that we need to learn here. We need to learn left foot braking, and we need to learn how to Scandinavian flick.
Yeah.
And this will avoid understeer, is that correct?
That's correct.
So, what is understeer? As you've seen, when you are approaching a bend too fast, you lose grip in the front. That is understeer. You'll have noticed that many car crashes happen on sharp bends. That's because the driver has gone into the bend too fast. As you can see here, The wheels are turned, but the car goes straight on, crashing off the road. That's understeer. How do I avoid understeer? The simple answer is, don't go so fast round bends. Understeer is most common in front-wheel drive cars. If you have understeer, lift off the power, then point the wheels in the direction you want to go. Experts use left foot braking to avoid understeer, which is covered thoroughly later.
Okay, so we want to demonstrate oversteer. Oversteer is when the car is losing grip in the back, when the car is sliding with the rear. As you enter the corner, you have to make the car loose in the back, so you have oversteer. Then you drive the car all the way around the corner with light oversteer, and you try to exit the corner with as little oversteer as possible, so you have good traction. If you cannot control the traction, then into the next gear. Less power, easier to control. You have grip in the front, you have little grip in the rear. When you make the car slide in the rear, then you must correct it with opposite lock on the steering wheel.
Explain for some people that don't know what you're talking about, John, what opposite lock is.
Opposite lock is that when you have to move the steering wheel in the other direction of where you're going.
So we were going on a left-hand bend then, and you were turning right.
Yeah, correctly.
The steering wheel.
Because the back was swinging out.
And that is opposite lock.
Yeah, correct. At the same time, you must also correct it with a nice balance with your throttle. If you want to have more grip in the rear, you ease off the throttle. If you want to have less grip in the rear, more slide, you give it more power.
So less grip, more power. More grip, less power.
Yes, exactly. It's also important that you doesn't slide it too much. If you slide it too much, especially on exit out corners and slippery conditions like this, then you have very bad traction.
Just shows how quickly you can do this.
Well, this is about as quick as you can do it.
Okay.
If you're trying to go faster through the corners, then you're losing more grip.
Oh!
We went all the way around. That's what can happen if you let it go too far.
Yeah.
Then you run out of luck. You have no more luck, and then the car will spin.
You've run out of luck. You mean you can't turn the steering wheel anymore?
No, correct. And one way to avoid that is when you feel that it's going away from you, then you can try to dip the clutch, which then gives you maximum grip in the back.
So, what is oversteer? Well, it's most common in rear-wheel drive cars. You're going too fast in a bend and you lose grip in the rear. Here, we turn into the bend and the back of the car slides out. Notice the car is going sideways around the bend and the front wheels are on opposite lock. If you put too much power on now, you'll spin. How do I eliminate rear-wheel drive oversteer? First thing, get the power down. Use opposite lock, turning into the slide, and if you've really lost it, dip the clutch. We have to say, if you've got to this point, you're in big trouble. While we are on the subject, what about oversteer in front-wheel drive cars? This is potentially a very, very dangerous situation, but you must keep the power on to avoid spinning out of control, or worse, rolling the car.
John, we hear a lot about power sliding. What is it?
That's when you go sideways and driving around the corners with power sideways with a rear-wheel drive car.
Right.
You can really hang on around the corner, you know, opposite lock and on the power and spraying snow everywhere.
Is it just for fun, or is it a technique that you'd use?
Just for fun.
It's just for fun.
Well, it's a technique. If you drive a rear-wheel drive car, you will do it. We also on loose. You do it with all four-wheel drive cars. You know, every four-wheel drive rally car.
Yeah.
Is you drive around the corners with power slide.
Right.
Because you do all cornering under power. But it's more like a classic thing from rear-wheel drive cars.
But what's the difference between this and what we were doing about oversteer?
Well, this is the same thing.
This is it.
So, power sliding. It sounds really cool, but it's just another word for oversteer. Power sliding eliminates understeer and is deliberate, controlled oversteer. To increase the slide, increase the power. To reduce the slide, reduce the power. And all with opposite lock. If we look here, the car is going sideways with full opposite lock. Clearly, as with all these techniques, you can't do this on a public road. As John Haughland says, it's just for fun.
Okay, on this car here, things happen quite quickly because it has proper rally tires on. This is a front-wheel drive car. The normal tendency with a car like this is understeer. That's the limit of the car around corners. If you go too fast around the corners, it will push its nose and understeer. So turn in like this, and it will want to go straight on. The way to compensate for understeer is to lift off, which is working, but it's quite slow. But the most efficient way is left-hand braking. You go in here now, it doesn't steer, and then left-hand braking, and the nose follows around. The reason for you doing it is that we need more weight on the front wheels to make more grip. And when we are touching the brake pedal, then we have weight transfer on the car. We have more weight on the front wheels, and more weight on the front wheels also means more grip. And we are going faster around the corner.
Right. The reason you should not use the right foot for it is because?
Because you have 3 pedals and 2 feet.
Oh.
That's one of the reasons. Because and you also need to be, of course, you need to be on the power at the same time.
On the power at the same time.
So you
okay.
brake before the corner like this, and you left to brake as you go into the corner to have good bite. And you need to have power at the same time to keep the speed.
Presumably, John, it's much more difficult to get a grasp of it because your left foot will be very heavy on the brake because you're not used to using your left foot on the brake.
The thing with learning left-hand braking is that first of all you need a good sensitive foot, right? You will not normally be so sensitive in your left foot as you are in your right foot. Coming down to the corner here, down here I need to brake and take second. So now I'm braking, taking second gear, and now I'm changing my feet over to go into the corner again. You understand?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So understeer now is pushing the nose and pushing the brake pedal on the left with the left foot, and then straight away the car is following the front wheels. So left or brake in there, the car goes around. Left or brake in there, the car goes around.
Was the left foot on the brake even as you went through the apex of the corner?
Well, I do it all the time. I do it when I have trouble with understeer. Doing all cornering with my foot ready over the brake pedal. So as soon as I feel understeer, then I'm pushing the brake pedal when I have power at the same time. So yeah, repeat again. Left braking you do to take away understeer from the car, to get more weight on the front wheels, to give you more grip, but you have to do it together with power so it doesn't lose the speed, so you keep the speed around the corner. Stay in the middle here, brake before the corner, and go in left and just power around. Turn in, and if it understeers, then you just turn more, and eventually a little bit of left braking.
Oh!
You are playing around, you have 3 pedals and 2 legs. So careful with moving your hands like this. Then in the front wheel drive car, if you move the hands like this and you get into a corner where you really have to handle the car, then you doesn't know where your front wheels are pointing, and that can be dangerous. You can maybe be half a turn wrong on the steering wheel. You come out to the corner on the power, and the car shoots straight off the road. So you must always try to hold the steering wheel with a 1/4 to 3 or 10 to 2 position. So you always have a reference on what is straight on, and just power around all the way around. Quite fast corner, just let it go. Don't go off the power now. Hey, whoa! This is
John, sorry.
can easily roll if you do that.
Sorry.
And the reason you did it was that you went off the power.
Went off the power?
Yeah. These things doesn't happen straight away, you know. It takes a long time to learn it.
I've been using my left foot for all the braking, is that wrong?
No, that's fine. Good. When you brake, you can be harder on the brake pedal. Push the brake pedal harder. Go back right again, brake a little bit before the left-hander, and power around left. Good, and right. Brake a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Go in left, that's okay. That's the sort of braking we want to have. And you must do all your braking before the corners. Are you braking with the left now?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. You feel how it works, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you touch the brake, then you feel the car turns in better.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it, John, immediately.
Yeah. Brake well on the left. Go in from the left. And on the inside and power on right. And then straight back with steering wheel. Straight back now. Okay, better. Good, you're doing well.
So, how to left foot brake? Well, let's say again why we use it. It eliminates understeer by shifting weight to the front wheels and increasing the grip in the front. It's a tricky technique and can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. When you feel understeer, apply the brakes with your left foot, keeping the power on with the right, and turning a little bit more. The car will stop understeering and go where you want it to go. As you can see from this illustration, if you feel understeer here, you'd left foot brake. At any point on the bend you feel understeer, you'd left foot brake, keep the power on and stay in control.
What we're talking about here, Scandinavian flick, that's to set up the car under braking for a slower corner. You're coming down the straight, you're coming to a slower corner, and you know that in this corner you will have understeer. Then you can set it up in the opposite direction under braking to use the pendulum to go into the corner. Using the one direction to set up the car for the other direction. On many corners here we have corners following each other. Then you can use the one corner to get into the next one.
How are the feet working during the Scandinavian?
Yeah, every time you need grip, you must left to brake. So left to brake there, and then again there. Initially into every corner you use left to braking. And here we're dancing nicely from one corner to the other, which is just the same thing. Using the momentum from one corner to go straight into the other one. And if there is no previous corner, then you just make one. Yeah. And as I turn in with left to brake. So you turn the opposite way before you go into the corner, and you are using left to brake as you turn in for that to unsettle the car.
I think I'll have to do it very slowly.
But you need some speed, you know, to get the momentum to feel it. Then in this corner here. The whole thing is a question of setting up the car in the opposite direction before you go into a corner where you expect to understeer.
I'm so scared.
Brake and turn left and right. Now you have too much lock. Careful now. But you need to use a touch of left to brake as you turn in, right? To do this Scandinavian flick thing, you never get it right unless you use left to braking. You know, every time you turn from the one side to the other, a little touch of left to brake as you turn in any corner. And that helps you to turn in. Also makes the car looser in the back and swings the back nicer around. No, it's a little bit too slow, then you just get the momentum into it. And
I
go
can,
here.
I can feel what you mean. I just lack the confidence to really do it.
Axe right here and go. And go. And here you can do the same again. Let's go that way and brake and in left again. Too much power.
Too much power. Balance is so hard. Too little power, then too much.
Yeah.
I want to do it right, John.
Get the speed down from the right, and then you can use the left-hander braking a Scandinavian flick for the right-hander. Go in there now. And brake in for the and then back again. There you have it. Now you have the feel of it. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Okay, it's getting better and sharp on the steering wheel. Then brake now and turn, and then back in again, and back in again. There you are. Now you felt it, huh? Enter from the left, and then you go in right, in right. Just go in, on the power. Brake, get the speed down, there you see? On the power.
Shit. Sorry.
You had an absolute Scandinavian flick here. Absolutely. You were searching the right thing and it was doing the right thing, but it was overdone a bit. And then try to set it up from side to side. Left, right, left and brake, and go in again. And then on the power. Hey!
Oh. No. I'm so sorry.
Sitting on the top of the mountain. We cannot go down from here. We have to be towed out.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm now taking up my gloating position to gloat at the fact I didn't crash.
You were on the way, I thought this is going very good now. But then on the last move here, you kept
I didn't go around there, did I?
You didn't turn the steering wheel to the left.
Didn't I?
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Try again. On the power. Turn left, turn left, turn left.
Oh.
Turn left, go, go, go.
I did it. I'm so sorry, you're right.
No problem. Third gear, flat down here. And then you brake left and right. And short after each other. First left and right, straight away. There you are. There you are. Bingo, eh?
Yep.
Felt it.
That was fantastic.
So how do you do a Scandinavian flick? First thing, Get the speed down and turn in the opposite direction of where you want to go. Use left foot braking each time you turn the wheel. When you turn into the actual bend, the pendulum effect swings the back of the car around. As you've seen, this is a very difficult technique, so let's go through it again. First thing, get the speed down and turn in the opposite direction of where you want to go. Use left foot braking each time you turn the wheel, and when you turn into the actual bend, the pendulum effect swings the back of the car around.
Like this is the front wheel drive car, it will understeer. If you go around a tight corner like a hairpin, the car will understeer.
Right.
So to help it around a corner, to make it not understeer, you force the rear of the car around. So you just go in towards the hairpin, turn the steering wheel, pull the handbrake and drive around. So the reason we do it is to get rid of the understeer, and we're making the car oversteer around the corner instead, which make it turn around quickly.
So you're pulling on the handbrake as soon as we hit the corner?
Yeah, but you must turn in first. So you must start the corner first.
Start the corner.
You must turn in first, then use the handbrake. The back swings around easily. And then you're on the power from about mid-corner or three-quarters of the corner.
Right, you're totally off the power as you go in, obviously.
Yeah. So braking here.
Yeah.
Turning in, handbrake on, and let the front wheels pull in that direction all the time.
And when we're doing it here, John, how fast are we going when we're pulling on the handbrake?
Well, not very fast at all. If you're going faster, we do it slower. And if you want to do it really, you can set up the car like this.
Oh,
then it swings better, but you see we're losing a lot of time on the exit.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit too brutal, a little bit too inefficient. And what is very easy to do is to be too eager on the throttle on the exit.
You have to be quite gentle, do you, John?
Yeah, you have to just conserve traction in a nice way. And when you turn in, you need to take a pre-grip on the steering wheel.
A pre-grip?
Yeah, you go left there. You need to take your left hand and take a hand grip there, because you need such big movement.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
Right, first one, John. Let's go.
Yeah. It's too fast.
I was too late. I was all too late.
Yeah, but also too fast.
Too fast.
Yeah. So let's get the speed down first. So you, because that's why you end up out here. So go in at the slower speed and turn in later. Pre-grip, go in. But you must take the handbrake much before. You must turn in as soon as you have moved the steering wheel a bit. You start at the corner, then the handbrake. Accelerate down here and then brake. Turn in, handbrake. And drive around. Up. And speed was too high, and that was why we drifted wide.
It's so much harder than I thought.
All right. Turn in, handbrake, and drive around, and drive. See, not so difficult. Turn in, handbrake, clutch out, power, drive around. It's coming. Right.
Felt better.
Much better.
That felt better.
Yeah. It's not a difficult operation. It's important that you get speed down, take a good grip on the steering wheel so you can turn it in properly, because you need only one hand here, because the other hand is operating the handbrake.
Yep.
That means you have to take a pre-grip like this. Go in, turn, handbrake, clutch out, and then use the power around. So go into the corner with the clutch dipped and using the handbrake. When the handbrake goes off, then the clutch comes out and you power out of the second part of the corner.
And is there a specific point? Is it as soon as you turn in, the handbrake goes?
Yep. The same time, the brakes at the same time as you move the steering wheel, you attach the handbrake.
Yeah.
And then the handbrake goes off, the clutch comes out, and you power around. What is of course very important with the handbrake turn on this car is that you have to dip the clutch. Because it's rear wheel drive.
Yeah.
Front wheel drive car, you can just do it. Handbrake turn without dipping clutch, because if you do it here, then you stop the rear wheels and the engine stops. So the best way of doing it is to brake, speed down, back out, and then power it around the rest of the corner. You can do it a little bit more dramatic. Too much wheel spin, bad traction, everything wrong.
Yeah. So it clearly shows it's better to go in
a
bit more under control. Do you want me to do your window up?
Yeah, that's alright. Maybe better to have it up, yeah. Just get it into second gear and do it in second gear. So as you turn in, you brake before, and as you turn in, you dip the clutch, take a pre-grip. Must use it, you must dip the clutch. Clutch in. I think you did the clutch, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then it must be harder on the...
Harder on the handbrake.
Yeah. Okay, brake, turn in, clutch in, handbrake, clutch out, sharp and power. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. You see, if you're a little bit rougher with it, then it swings the back easier. But then it can also swing the back a little bit too much.
It's a bit too much, yeah.
But that's alright.
Not quite, not quite as neat and tidy as yours.
Yeah, but you have to practice a bit. I have practiced 35 years. Good pre-grip, your left hand over here. A brake, and then as you turn in, you just pull it. There you are. And clutch out and go. Good. Get the hang of it. That'll be good. Brake, pre-grip, turn in, handbrake, clutch out and power. Good.
Yeah, it's fun, I like this.
Brake, turn in, handbrake, clutch out and power. Brilliant. Spot on.
So, how to handbrake turn like a pro in a front-wheel drive car. First, get your speed down. Take a pre-grip. This is the key to a perfect handbrake turn and where most people go wrong. Then turn in and pull the handbrake. Make sure you press the button in and keep it in, or you'll end up leaving the handbrake on and look like an idiot. When you feel the car sliding, take the handbrake off. Then power out nice and steady without wheel spin. During the perfect handbrake turn, the back wheels lock up, causing the back of the car to swing around. This means you can negotiate tight bends in one smooth, flowing manoeuvre. How to handbrake turn like a pro in a rear-wheel drive car. First, get your speed down. Take a pre-grip. This is the key to a perfect handbrake turn. Then turn in, dip the clutch and pull the handbrake. When you feel the car is sliding, take the handbrake off and clutch out. Then power out nice and steady without wheel spin. When handbrake turning in a rear-wheel drive car, the principle remains the same. You are locking up the rear wheels. The only difference is you must dip the clutch, otherwise you'll stall the engine. It's been an intense 4 days for Celine and Will. John Haughland has taught them how to drive on the limit, but the big question is, can they do it under pressure?
Well, we've had fantastic weather, but look at it today. It's minus 30, it's threatening snow, the visibility is appalling, you can hardly see the track. They've got a special stage against the clock and it's going to be tough. Who wants to go first?
I'll let you go.
Toss for it.
Okay. Roll.
Heads.
Heads it is.
Bastard.
Celine, if you work it in the Explode, okay, so you don't hear the time.
It's a flying start. Will set a blistering time on his practice lap, but can he keep up the pace? Whoa, 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 whoa! He's forgetting to left foot brake on that sharp bend, which would cost him a lot of time.
Brake on the left hand side, turn in late from the left. Late, it's too early. It's okay. Going inside. Careful with the power, not on. If you feel that the car is understeering, you must go off the power, not on the power.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright?
That was much better. That was much better. See the brake lights as he went into the bend? That was left foot braking. Come on, Will.
Turning in late for the right-hander. That's good. That's good. Very good.
Now this is a very, very fast section, and Will nearly rolled the Puma here the other day, and he got a bollocking off John.
On the power, on the straight, 6,000 RPM, and change to third gear.
Now Will's been really careful here. This is a perfect place for a Scandinavian flick, but he's just driven around nice and smooth. It's not like Will at all.
Easily into the inside. Come on, go, get going. To the left, brake and change down. Brake, change down. Brake, brake, brake.
Whoa, whoa, he's going a bit quick. Too fast in. He'll lose a lot of time there, creating a load of understeer. Now it's looking good, it's looking good. This is absolutely flat out here. He flicked it there, maybe a bit too much. No need to flick like that on such a fast bend.
Brake well before the hairpin. Turn in late from the left. It's too early.
Every time I get that wrong.
Get traction, get going from the left. Power on right on the inside.
Good, good. He's using left foot braking there, and he's using all the road. Maybe a bit too much and pushing his luck.
Don't go in the snowbank, it's close to it. Keep going, and then brake straight before the right-hander.
He's losing the pace there, he's losing it. The pressure's getting to him. It looks like he's going to lose it. Come on, Will, come on, give it death. Now this is very, very cautious driving for Will, and it's a good tactic, as the smoothest guy will win, no doubt. This is the last straight, and it's flat, flat, flat out, maximum speed. You need balls of steel.
Keep it going. Okay, okay, okay.
That's the finish. I wonder how he's done. He kept the car on the track, not easy in these conditions. Nice one, Will. Okay, Celine's turn. The weather is truly awful, and the visibility shows no sign of improving. It's nigh on impossible to see the track, as if driving a special stage on ice wasn't tough enough.
And then you accelerate around the left-hander on the inside. When I say inside, that means close to the snowbank, but not in the snowbank, right?
Yeah.
Okay?
She's looking good. Good use of the road. Whoa, she was oversteering nicely there. Flicking it into that fast bend. She's certainly putting her new skills into action. Now that was smooth. She's showing who's in control here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Turning a bit early there, and that will cost her a lot of time on such a short stage.
Right. Foot to the floor, into third gear at 6,000. Just drive in, go. Brake and change down, brake and change down.
Now she's absolutely flying here, very fast indeed. She'll need a lot of guts on this section. Brake lights on all the way around that bend. That's left foot braking. She's left foot braking well, no understeer at all there. Superb, fantastic, still left foot braking, brilliant.
On the power, cut right here, just go. And then left, and immediately after the corner, brake hard for the hairpin. Right, and go in late from the left, late from the left. There you are, good line, perfect. And exit close to the snowbank on the inside. Okay, get going.
Oh shit,
So
sorry.
we're on left on the inside.
Oh.
Just go, 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 brake a little bit, then do braking in before the right-hander, and go on the inside.
Now that was nicely done. She went round there much smoother than Will, but maybe a bit too slow.
Follow the snowbank on the inside all the way, and don't lift off. Just go with the steady throttle. Aye, aye, aye.
What a girl, no major hiccups. The Puma's still in one piece. I wonder who won. Okay, John, it's the moment of truth. How did our guys get on?
Very well. The winner here is Will. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, John.
He did his best time on his first lap, and then went a little bit down. Celine made her best lap in the last lap, and she was going gradually a little bit up. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, John.
Well done.
Well done.
Cheers, Will. So, John, what do you think about drivers? Have they got potential?
Yes, they have both a lot of potential. They need to get into the right frame, do it the right way, develop themselves in the right way, listen to advices, and they have both potential and can make it at this sport. Will has good feel because he has quick reactions, a little bit too aggressive, but needs to go down again, as I said, and then build himself up again. But it's his basic feeling and reactions, and very committed and concentrated in the car is very, very good. So those things are good. Lines and technique need to be made better, and you have to be smoother, but basics is there for a good improvement. Celine is, I know she has good potential. We have had several girls there over the years on the school, and I will say Celine is the best potential we ever had from a girl, so she should really start to push for this sport, and could go far.
So I won 210,
Celine did 2:14. John Haughland reckons a really good driver, pro rally driver will get maybe 2:2, 2:3 on that course. It's been a knackering time, I tell you. Driving it really does tire you out. The track driving was cool. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But I've learned a lot of other stuff as well. I mean, I've definitely learned to be safer on the road. That sounds a bit naff, but it's true. You know, I'm definitely a better driver than I was now, than I was before. If I got in trouble on ice, if I got in trouble on really wet roads, I'd pull myself out of it now. Whereas once before, I'd have probably crashed, destroyed my car. So it's been a brilliant course. I'm very happy, and I won.
Right, just got back from the time trials. I didn't win, but it's not so much of a problem for me because I feel that I've got a better prize. I got a fantastic, overwhelming comments from John. A bit embarrassed about them, the comment that he made, but I've been told that I have to say what he's told me. He thinks that I'm one of the best woman driver that he's had at the school to teach, so very overwhelmed by it, and we'll have to see what I do with it now. Hopefully I'll be a championship driver, so guys, watch this space, we'll see what happens next.
During filming, it was Will's birthday, and so we arranged something a little special.
I have a birthday surprise for you.
My birthday today, and as a special treat, the great man himself has taken me for a spin in this 240 brake horsepower Jaguar. I can't wait.
Good luck!
There's a lot of power in this thing. It works well, but it doesn't stop. That's the only problem.
Oh, kicking up snow always looks good. Yeah. That's a nice fast bit. Let's see how John takes this. Look at that, fully sideways, yes!
What do you think? To be a chauffeur around in a Jag on your birthday on a frozen lake?
If someone had told me this a few years ago, I would have thought them mad.
All right, Will?
Yes, John, enjoying it very much. I bet this looks good on film, boys. Oi, a bit of airborne, throwing it into the corners. I'm trying to watch and pick up some tips on his racing line. And plenty of sideways there, always nice. Yeah. Yes.
All right.
John, thank you very much.
Okay.
Happy birthday. That was amazing.
Thanks, guys. Kick ass. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Will. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, John.
Don't even think of switching off yet, because if you can answer a simple question at the end of the film, you could win a fantastic prize.
And I can't live without you. The feelings get in the way.
Extreme driving in conditions like this puts your engine under extremes of pressure and temperature. I bet you spend more on CDs than you do on oil. Well, if you're serious about your driving, you should be serious about the oil that you use and choose one that can take this sort of punishment. We rely on new Mobil 1 with Super Sin and recommend Mobil 1 because it's designed to perform brilliantly in conditions like this. They've won in F1 and they've won in touring cars, so clearly it's good enough for you and me.
This is one of our support vehicles. We've done over 1,000 miles. We started on wet tarmac in the UK and now we're driving on sheet ice and packed snow. They've been absolutely fantastic. The grip is phenomenal. That's because they've got weather reactive technology. Now that sounds like advertising gobbledygook, but it's not. The compound reacts to the environment. Now they're not just brilliant at driving on snow and ice, they're also fantastic at shifting water from the road.